Have you ever wondered what process the city has to go through to complete a large, expensive road project? And if you haven't heard already, there's a new YMCA facility located at Mitch Park, and it has some of the coolest amenities in the state. Learn how the City of Edmond partnered with the YMCA and Edmond Public Schools to create this wonderful building, and see what other projects are in store for our city. That's all coming up on Your Edmond.
Hi there, and welcome to this month's episode of Your Edmond. I'm Eric Smith, and if you were watching a month or so ago, we gave you a little bit of a sneak preview of the inside of the YMCA and the swimming facility. It is so cool. Well, now it's open, and it is so cool for many reasons, and it wouldn't have even been possible without the city partnering up with other outside entities here in Edmond. Here's a look at the inside of the Mitch Park YMCA.
Mitch Park YMCA is something to behold. Basketball, cardio equipment, weightlifting center, a suspended running track.
We also have a leisure pool that has something for everyone. So a play dish for little ones. It's got a typical box of water for lap swim and lessons, a therapy area, a micro lazy river, and then a 130-foot tube slide.
There's group exercise studios, community space, a child watch area, interactive fitness equipment, and the crown jewel, an Olympic-sized competition swimming pool.
Go into the facility, the first thing you're going to notice is how much light is introduced into the building. You can't walk into the building and not see into other areas of the building. The amount of glass is just strategically located to let the perfect amount of light in to whatever season, and you feel like it's a more open facility.
We can foresee a family coming out here and spending the whole day in Mitch Park. And they have the outdoors and the beauty of the park, but they also have a place where they can go in and get cooled off or actually stay out of the bad weather.
The Mitch Park YMCA is located in the heart of Edmond's largest city park. This 103,000 square foot facility came together through a partnership with the City of Edmond, Edmond Public Schools, and the YMCA. For years, the City of Edmond had $6 million in the Special Capital Projects Fund to handle expansion for recreational purposes. The local YMCA also had money set aside to build a second facility.
$6 million individually was not going to get us where we needed to be. Edmond Public Schools had a need for a competition pool.
And then the city and the Y came together and said, we're going to build a YMCA out here with city and Y funds. And that came at a point that we did have some flexibility in our bond program. So the school district put it on a bond issue as a separate item for $10 million of construction costs. And of course the bond issue passed, and we were able to get in with the city and the Y. By working together, we're able to leverage all of our monies together, have a great single facility in a nice location adjacent to the parks and trails.
Just after opening its doors, the Mitch Park YMCA hosted the state regionals and state swim competition at their pool. Students were able to compete in an area with state-of-the-art scoring equipment with adequate seating for all that wanted to attend.
The kids, it was just an awesome sight to see those 200 kids come in here the other night and have a pool of their own for the first time in their swim career in Edmond. And we've had parents and past swimmers come up and say, you know, this is great. I wish we'd had it 10 years ago, but we're glad that the kids have it now.
So we're filling a need not just for the Edmond community, but for the state. So we'll have the benefit of that kind of traffic, and our citizens will have access to a beautiful recreational facility.
The best thing about it is that it's something for the whole community to use.
We build it to take care of our citizens first. That's our first goal. Secondary benefit is we think we can attract visitors to our community to use, for example, the competition pool to host swim meets from around not just our state, but even the region. So we think it'll be an economic development benefit to have a facility like that in our community to attract people to come visit.
Encouraging economic development in our city is extremely important for the future of Edmond.
Oklahoma is unique in the sense that cities do not have the ability to obtain property tax revenue for the use of operating expenses. That's uncommon across the country. We can only use sales tax dollars to pay for our basic services, police, fire, parks, recreational kind of things.
Lately, city leaders have worked to encourage economic growth by partnering up with private sector entities. On the northwest corner of Covell and I-35, the city purchased and developed land for a much-needed full-service hotel and conference center.
It's an identified need that just doesn't exist in the community. And so we're losing resources that people are having to go outside the community. When that happens, then we lose sales tax dollars. When people have to go purchase services or go out of town to get certain services, it's a loss to us for sales tax. And then if those same amenities also attract people to our community, we gain sales tax dollars. So it really is sales tax driven for the hotel conference center, and even for some of these other sports facilities that we're talking about, we see the potential for sales tax dollars.
Another project is the Summit Sports Complex near the northeast corner of Covell and I-35. This building has the capability to have 16 volleyball courts or 8 basketball courts, 2 indoor soccer fields. The city of Edmond purchased that land, but there is an agreement that the Summit Sports Group will buy the land back within 15 years. As a result of these larger projects, there are other businesses developing in the area too.
I think there's a role for the city to try to play to make things easier for business development to occur that will benefit the city. We'll provide recreational or retail opportunities that don't exist in the community, and that gives them a chance to give us more sales tax dollars if they can find more services or goods that aren't available in Edmond. So yeah, anytime we can encourage an environment where we get investment for retail, for recreational, just a variety of things like that, we'll benefit from that.
I think it's all about the spirit of collaboration. I don't think we could have better leaders for our school, our city. I mean, we see it every day because of the ways we have to count on them to carry out our programs or do what we need to do. So I think you're seeing a lot of collaboration in this community along with the other organizations here as well.
I think it just shows the spirit of this community. We just consider ourselves partners in this community, and we all want to work together.
The Mitch Park YMCA is located at 2901 Maryland Williams Drive. Memberships and even day passes are available. Find out more by visiting ymcaokc.org or call 330-4016.
Now, the Mitch Park YMCA is open every day of the week. Now, if you're not a member, you can purchase a day pass here. Just visit ymcaokc.org to find out more. And if it's a beautiful day like today, and yes, it is just a little bit windy, let's talk about the elephant in the room, but welcome to Oklahoma. You can enjoy all kinds of outdoor activities like the trails, the playgrounds, the basketball courts, and just all kinds of things to do. Mitch Park is located on the north side of Covell, just west of Kelly. Coming up on the show, we look at how the city of Edmond decides what road construction projects need to be made to our city and the process they go through to accomplish that.
But before we go to break, let's see if you can answer this Edmond trivia question. In our city, the sales tax rate is 8.25%. Do you know how much of that goes to the state and how much goes back to the city of Edmond? We'll tell you the answer when we come back.
Get those plans into production immediately.
Immediately.
All right, you have 15 seconds.
That's perfect. From the makers of the Watomata, I give you the brush factor. Did you know that you waste water every time you brush your teeth? If you leave the water running, you waste up to 2 gallons a minute. This little baby eliminates water waste. Now what you do is you fill this tank on the side, which I've previously done, with water. Then you add the toothpaste of your choice, a bead or larger. Then you flip it on, right? Listen to that baby purr. Oh, yowzers! And then you begin to brush as you normally would. This puppy's safety rating's in the high 40% range. I'd sell you the pet for a reasonable price. You know what? I like you too. I'm thinking 7 figures.
Father, we can save up to 8 gallons of water a day, or 3,000 gallons a year, by simply shutting off the water when we brush our teeth, shave, even wash our hands.
For real?
Yeah, Dad, it's real. Real problems, real solutions, real water conservation.
Conservation.
Shop Edmond. Love your community by shopping Edmond first. Every time you shop here, your sales tax goes to things like parks, public safety, and street maintenance, which helps maintain the wonderful quality of life here in Edmond. Because the sales tax is less than most surrounding areas, shopping in Edmond means you save money. And with a great variety of stores and businesses in Edmond, you're sure to find what you're looking for. Shop smart, shop safe, shop close, shop Edmond.
Just how much of the 8.25% sales tax goes back to the city of Edmond? 4.5% goes to the state government, and Edmond receives the remaining 3.75%. How does the 3 3/4% break down? 2 cents goes to the general fund for city operations, such as street maintenance. 1/4 cent goes to the fire department. 1/8 goes to the police department. 1/8 goes to parks. 3/4 cent goes to capital improvement projects, and 1/2 cent goes to the construction of the Public Safety Center. Find out more about city services by visiting edmondok.com.
Now, behind me is a large construction project. It's going on in Edmond right now. It's the widening of Kelly, just north of Danforth. Now, for a while, this road was completely closed, but right now it's open to 1 lane of traffic. Now, soon when construction is complete, it'll be a 4-lane divided roadway with left turns at all public venues. Now, there will also be sidewalks on both sides of Kelly, some street lighting and landscaping, and a brand new access point into Mitch Park. Now, to accomplish a large project like this, it's no easy matter. Check out how the city is able to complete such a large and expensive project like this.
Each day in Edmond, over 53,000 cars move through the intersection of 33rd Street and Broadway. During the morning and afternoon rush hour, this intersection becomes very congested.
Traffic is basically the #1 concern here with our citizens in the city of Edmond.
Edmond's engineering department observes these highly used streets and intersections by measuring traffic volume counts.
We'll go out and we monitor the traffic, we look at the volume of the traffic, the turning movements of the traffic, pedestrians, speeds.
The data collected from these traffic counts is applied to a points-based system that determines what road projects improve safety and traffic flow. Each year, Edmond spends $2 million on mill and overlay improvements to our streets. The city also uses money from the voter-approved 2000 sales tax to help with a specific list of projects. This helps with some of the upfront costs. However, large road projects can be very expensive, so the city applies for federal funding whenever possible. The state of Oklahoma receives roughly $600 million annually from the Federal Highway Administration. Most of that money goes to the Oklahoma Department of Transportation for road projects they have planned throughout the state. Around $20 million of that is sub-allocated to the Surface Transportation Program, which is overseen by the Association of Central Oklahoma Governments, or ACOG, located in downtown Oklahoma City.
ACOG is a regional council of governments. It's one of 11 in the state of Oklahoma and hundreds throughout the country. We have members that represent the communities throughout the central Oklahoma region. Its main purpose is to provide a forum that communities, local governments, cities and counties can come together and coordinate and plan for areas of common interest that go beyond city and county boundaries. They're more regional in scale.
Some of these larger scale areas of interest deal with air quality, water quality, economic development, and transportation. ACOG is the entity with authority on traffic project selection and spending authority over the federal funds they receive. Cities within central Oklahoma like Edmond, Oklahoma City, Moore, and Norman must apply for these funds using the data they have collected on their roadways.
There are several different criteria that we look at that the score is based on. Traffic volume is one of them. Volume to capacity ratio is another, and that's just simply how much traffic is the road carrying and what's it designed to carry. Is it overloaded or not? Accident history, we look at the impact on air quality is another criteria, and then also project readiness. The projects that score the highest generally are the ones that are going to be funded.
When we go through that process, we can get 80% of the construction funding back to the city. So let's say it's a $5 million project. The federal government would pay $4 million of it, and the city only has to pay $1 million, so it's an 80-20 split. However, we still have to pay for all the engineering, all the right-of-way, moving all the utilities, and it takes several years, but when it's all said and done, it's about a 50-50 split.
There's also a certain amount of money that's available for safety projects.
Examples of those are like guardrails, pavement markings, traffic signals, school zone improvements, and those are eligible for 100% of the construction cost.
Cities must apply for those too. Recently, Edmond received safety projects funding on bike signage along Boulevard and the I-35 frontage roads.
We really try and be good stewards with the taxpayers' money and stretch that and get as many matching funds as we can. I understand we may delay a project a year to get that, but if we delay a project a year but we're able to get $7 million, then that's $7 million that we didn't have to spend that we can use somewhere else on another project.
So let's go back to the congested intersection of Broadway and 33rd Street. After identifying a definite need, the city applied for and received federal funding for improvements to that intersection.
We have a project to add right turn lanes at the intersection, some left turn lanes, redo all the pavement, and redo the signals to make them accommodate those new lanes.
The total amount for that improvement is nearly $5 million. 60% of the construction costs will come from federal funds, while the city will pay for the remaining 40%. Other traffic projects planned and designed are the widening of Covell to I-35, improvements to the intersection of Danforth and Kelly, and the widening of Kelly north of Coffee Creek, all the way to Waterloo. On busy roads like 2nd Street, it's not feasible to further widen the road. Engineers have to find another solution.
The only way really to create that capacity is to make our signals more efficient.
Edmond is in the process of installing an intelligent transportation system using cameras, improved communications infrastructure, and computer systems. Traffic along these busy streets can be better observed and directed.
With ITS, we'll be able to real-time monitor the traffic on a video wall.
Signal lights can be controlled during congested periods, construction activities, maintenance activities, and incidents that involve traffic collisions and other emergencies.
Let's say a car breaks down in the right lane at a signal, but there's no cars coming. It's the only thing there. Well, the signal keeps detecting that that car's there, and that's backing the traffic up on the opposing or the side traffic. So this new system will allow us to be able to real-time see what's going on out in the field and adjust as needed.
For more information about the intelligent traffic system or some of the road projects going on right now, you can visit the city's website, edmondok.com. If you see a problem with one of the signals in Edmond or a safety issue with one of Edmond's streets, please contact the engineering department at 359-4770.
We gladly investigate all those requests to determine if something needs to be done, what needs to be done, how can it be done, and then if it's a project that needs to be scheduled, we'll go to the city manager and the city council and say we need funding for this so we can start the design and go from there.
So, in the next few months, you may have to deal with some extra traffic as improvements are made to the intersection right here at 33rd and Broadway. Now, I'm sure it's going to be frustrating, but take a deep breath, drive slowly and carefully. Soon the construction will be done and traffic will be much more efficient and effective right here. Well, that's our show for this month. Remember, all of our videos are on YouTube. Just search City of Edmond OK. Also, you can become a fan of the City of Edmond on Facebook. We post all kinds of important information and links to the videos you see on Edmond Life TV. I'm Eric Smith. I'll see you next time on another episode of Your Edmond.